This is incredible. Antarctica wasn't always frozen. There's a massive hole in Antarctica visible on Google Earth, and it's about 30 meters wide. But here's where it gets strange around that hole. There are bases and research stations, each one named after a different country. Every major nation has a presence there, all studying whatever is inside that hole. But that's not even the wildest part. Roughly 15 to 30 miles behind it, there's a gigantic pyramid. And I'm talking enormous, way larger than the pyramids in Egypt. Its apex is fully visible. It's even been featured on the History Channel and Ancient Aliens. This isn't some hidden secret, it's right there. Now, how did a pyramid end up in Antarctica? No sand, no tools, just ice. Well, Antarctica wasn't always frozen. The continent shifted. A violent pole shift caused the Earth's crust to move, dragging the landmass to the South Pole. And here's the proof: as ice melts due to global warming, scientists are uncovering perfectly preserved animals, some with undigested food still in their stomachs. You know what that means? They froze instantly. Flash frozen, something catastrophic happened fast, and nobody's talking about it. Just a theory, not a fact.
You can see the people are walking around on something that's absolutely remarkable. I mean, look at that. This is Buffalo, New York, 1901. You know, just stunning architecture. And this all has a frequency. You know, we've talked a lot about this with frequency, resonance, fractals, all of these materials, you know, all the copper that was used. Every statue on top of these buildings had copper. Every angel on top of these buildings had copper. You know, and then you start to wonder, well, copper is only 1% of the soil. Where were they getting it all from? So Buffalo, New York, look at that fountain right there, you know, right in the middle. Just, you know, keeping the water intact. And then this is New York, Buffalo, New York, 1901. You know, this was the sustainable buildings that people were, you know, temporarily building. That's what they were telling us. You got right there. There's more water. And see how the society who was building these, because I don't believe that, you know, they were horse and wagon time at that time, but the society who was building this, look at how much they cherished water. I mean, there's so much water and fountains and all of this. And then you go to the next one, which you have a Coliseum in Buffalo, New York, you know, a picture I don't think many people have seen, which is interesting. You know, do you have this, and that can be energy.
Is this the World's Fair?
This is the World's Fair,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
This is the picture, and then look at you.
Please, can someone help explain how on this flight the moon is below the horizon by quite some way? Moon horizon.
And that sound and that feeling, that is the frequency and vibrations. What the old world used so predominantly. And the true reason behind all the bells that magically disappeared. Or they tell us it was for ammunition for the wars. But many truths get lost in the fog of war. The healing and uplifting properties of bells have been used for generations. But it goes deeper than that, moving us from the true nature of this realm, making us all that much easier to control, question everything from.
What was weird about Antarctica?
There's nothing there. So if you want to go see the emperor penguins or all of the wildlife that is available, you can't go to the interior of Antarctica, which is where we were. It's a full-on camp, fully set up, like library, indoor packing area for us to do our parachutes, bathrooms, showers, really nice tents. It's fully established. There's a blue ice runway. We flew in on a 757.
What's a blue ice runway?
The runway you land on is straight fucking ice. It's crazy.
Holy shit, you just land on ice?
Straight up blue ice. Those are the tents we were staying in right there. That one that's hovering over there. Those are the kind of tents that we were staying in. Underneath that jacket is a t-shirt. And I'm wearing the long sleeve because I didn't want exposure to the sun. And that's like wrapping your face too. Like the sun down there will absolutely nuke you.
Really?
Yeah. And this is probably like, I don't know, this could be fucking 3 a.m. The sun just never goes down.
How much food do they have up there?
As much as you could possibly want. They had a full like dining facility. The setup there is unbelievable.
Then they never have any wildlife up there ever?
There's millions upon millions of penguins, but there's no food source in the interior.
People are betting real money right now that Donald Trump will declassify UFO files in 2025. It's not a poll, rumour or theory, this is actually real, okay? This market currently prices this event at about an 85% chance of success that the funny Cheeto man will declassify UFO files in 2025, bruv. And this ain't no chump change, mate. This is hundreds of thousands of dollars being thrown into this bad boy, and people are really thinking that this might actually happen before the end of 2025. Now, it makes you think, right? Do people that have inside knowledge know what's going on? Now, we just had Rep. Eric Belson come forward recently saying David Grush personally briefed Trump on these so-called tall whites. Grush reportedly believes that they are just a few centuries ahead of us and they walk among us. And Daddy Trump apparently now knows about the existence of these creatures. And we had Tim Burchett come forward on News Nation talking about how he's planning on talking to Trump further on the topic about the UFO phenomena and NHI, mate. And we've had Rep. Paulina Lunar come forward talking about all these sort of different secret programs, and she's diving deep on this subject. All the new whistleblowers, mate, military officials, navy, government, you name it, mate, across the whole board. Since the age of disclosure has dropped, mate, people have just been coming out, man, and it feels like that the Pandora's box is truly open, mate. So I don't know, hopefully I might place a bet on this bad boy and hopefully win big, because if it's going to happen, 2025, baby.
This man filmed a face by the moon and got it all on camera.
It is February 28th, 29th, 28th, 29th. I have got me a better quality camera to catch this thing in the sky. And holy moly, I am scared. I'm scared, but I'm not going to trip because I've been catching this thing for a while now. It's very ominous. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. It's a huge face looking right down on us. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit brighter. There he is. There's the moon. Oh, I lost it. There it is. Let's see if I can get a better picture on the moon like it's supposed to. Is my hand in front of the thing or something? All right, here we go. Here we go. There it is.
Look at that.
Yep, there it is. There it is.
Camera makes it so clear.
There it is.
Dude, apparently there is a new COVID variant that is now spreading fast across the US, and people are literally calling it razor blade throat. So the official name of this new variant is now called NB181, but it's being nicknamed Nimbus or razor blade throat because people are saying that the sore throat is so incredibly painful that they're comparing it to swallowing shattered glass. And this is spreading quickly. They're saying that by early summer it made up a third of all US cases, and now the CDC is saying that it's the dominant strain in 45 different states, accounting for nearly half of all infections. This is not even just spreading in the US, it's rising globally. They said that even in May, it was already responsible for around 11% of all cases across Asia, the Mediterranean, and the Pacific. Doctors are saying that this new variant is not more serious than the other ones, but the painful symptom is what makes it stand out from every other strain we've seen. The World Health Organization has already labeled it a variant under monitoring, meaning that they're tracking it closely, but it is not considered a major global threat. And then they're saying that all of the current vaccines are still holding up and they remain effective at preventing severe cases. What they're calling this new variant is obviously insane, it being called razor blade throat, but they're saying that it is not more dangerous than any of the others.
Mano, olha isso! É dia 3 de dezembro e tá caindo plasma do céu! Meu Deus do céu, velho. Isso é real? Nunca vi um trem desse na vida.
Antarctica is a lot different than you think. Videos like this paint it as a barren yet beautiful land of ice and snow, but apparently there are leaked photos that show us they're trying to cover up something big down there. Back in 1912, Captain Robert Scott led an expedition to the South Pole to map it out and take some pictures. This was 47 years before the Antarctic Treaty of 1959, which heavily restricted tourist travel to the majority of Antarctica. For your own safety, of course. Now, these were the photos released by National Geographic of the expedition. Just some family-friendly fun adventure, right? But apparently that was just the tip. And if you know me, I do not like just the tip. Story goes, Robert Scott and his team went down there to map the South Pole. And these are the photos they took, which were hidden from the public and apparently recently got leaked. Ancient ruins, statues, and even what looked like pyramids of some long-lost civilization that they don't want anyone to know about. And the crazy part is, in March of 1912, just 2 months after these photos were taken, Robert and his whole team died on their journey back home due to starvation and extreme cold. And these photos got later recovered by some search party that found them. Now, doubters will tell you these photos are fake because Google told them, but even ancient maps painted Antarctica as green. And this map from 1512 even shows South America connecting to the Antarctic shoreline with incredible accuracy. Antarctica is twice the size of Australia and was thought to be ice-free as recently as 6,000 years ago. And we're supposed to believe ancient humans managed to find their way around every single continent in the world, even discovering the microscopic islands of the Pacific Ocean. And somehow they just fully skipped Antarctica even when it was a luscious green paradise. A lot of people argue these ancient ruins aren't real, and who knows, but you gotta keep an open mind, right? But what are confirmed real are these photos of what looks like a pyramid hidden under the snow in Antarctica. There are many photos that prove it exists, and even professors admit it. And obviously the Google debunkers will tell you, oh, it's a natural mountain formation formed through erosion, but I don't know what kind of looking ass mountains are cut this perfect. Even satellite footage confirms it, so I don't know, you think there's something down there, or are we the trippy ones?
Like 11 years ago, the US government reached out to me because I'm an expert on head injuries, on brain injuries, traumatic brain injuries, as a physician, and they had all these court cases from families of US servicemen, over 100, who'd been killed by UFOs. Like, so they were in the courts. And I was like, there are over 100 servicemen killed by UFOs? In a number of cases, these things have landed on military bases, including famously in Germany, in West Germany in the 70s. And servicemen have approached them. Like, what is this thing? There's this like giant glowing thing on the base. And they approach and they get traumatic brain injury. And they have, this is all totally real. This is the Department of Defense, dude.
This was the real-life Scooby-Doo, and it was seriously creepy. Back in 1961, a traveling group called the Dobie Scoobers made headlines for solving strange cold cases all across Ohio. The team was made up of 4 teenagers and a giant Great Dane named Jasper, who they claimed could actually understand human language. They drove around in an old green van, showing up wherever something weird happened. Ghost sightings, missing people, creepy old mines, and somehow they always figured it out. But in October 1964, something went terribly wrong. They were in a small town called Goobersville, investigating a series of disappearances connected to a shut-down amusement park. Only 2 members of the group made it out. The other 2 were found days later, deep inside a tunnel under the park. They had no injuries, but their faces were frozen in pure terror. But here's the part that still haunts people. In 1972, a hiker took a photo deep in the Goobersville woods. It showed a tall creature walking upright with the head of a dog, and on the ground, a ripped blue collar. The tag on it said Stee.
Because you know how I figured it out? What's 1 times 1?
1 times 1 is 1.
To multiply means to do what? To make more, right?
Yes.
Increase a number?
Yes.
Multiply?
Yes.
How can 1 times 1 equaling 1 be part of the multiplication table? It fails to satisfy the term multiply. It doesn't multiply. Does it? What's an action times an action?
You got some weed.
No, I'm asking you. Honestly, I'm asking reason.
What are we doing
Reason. I want you to reason.
I don't know.
What's an action times an action? A reaction. Right?
Okay.
Have you ever seen an action times an action without a reaction? Have you? No. Because equanimity is the currency of the universe. There's always an action times an action having a reaction. So how can 1 times 1 equal 1? How can A times B just be A and not B? What happened to conservation?
Terrence, these are late night conversations.
These are
they are.
This is the beginning of our understanding. It should fit. What kind of calculator you got? What kind of phone you got?
iPhone?
Okay, go to your calculator.
Whatever the new.
No, go to your calculator. Go to your calculator.
All right. Go to calculator.
Go to your calculator.
Yeah,
you
I got
do too. You got iPhone?
What are we doing?
I want both of y'all to do 2 separate things. I want to do the same thing to start with. Turn it to the side.
Okay.
All right. Now I want you to both hit the number 2. Did the whole calculator show up?
Hit number what?
Hit the number 2.
Number 2.
Go to the square root. It is the second column from the left, 3rd row. It'll have that squiggly thing.
All right.
1.4. 1.414213562373095.
Holy
now
crap.
I want you two to do 2 separate things now. 2 separate things. I want you to multiply it by 2, hit times 2, equal, don't you do it.
Okay.
And I want you to hit x to the 3rd. X to the 3rd, it's going to be...
Times 3?
No, x to the 3rd.
Oh, X. Oh, okay. I see it.
X to the 3rd.
Yeah, I got you. All right. 1.1.
No, you didn't hit x to the 3rd.
Yes, I did.
If you hit x to the 3rd.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
So
I
go
did
back
that.
again.
Okay,
You
so
keep
now.
yours where you are.
Yeah, I'm
2,
good.
2.
Square root.
Square root.
And hit x to the 3rd.
All right. 2.82.
4271, 2174, 6190. The same value you got
Yeah.
by multiplying it by 2.
Yeah.
And he just cubed it. Divide it by 2 again. Both of y'all. Divide
it by 2.
No, divide by 2. Hit equal. Now, cube it again. Hit x to the 3rd.
Yeah.
You see that loop?
Yeah.
That's saying x cubed is equal to 2x, which is equal to x plus x. That's an unnatural equation. That's a mathematical fallacy. And that's the beginning of your math. That's how I invented tangential flight, because your math, someone programmed that lie in there and lied to you and everyone, and all your fundamentals are off.
If gravity isn't real, what keeps the oceans from floating away into space? Think about it. If gravity is strong enough to hold entire oceans down, why can a butterfly, a balloon, or even just a bit of smoke easily rise against it? Why can you pick up a glass of water with hardly any effort when supposedly that same force is pinning down every single sea and lake on Earth? Doesn't that sound a bit contradictory? Now, here's where the problem gets even bigger. Science tells us Earth is spinning at over 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. If that's true, wouldn't the oceans bulge or spill over? I mean, imagine putting water in a bucket and spinning it. The water doesn't just stay flat, it flies outward. Yet we're supposed to believe trillions of gallons of water cling perfectly to a ball without a single leak? So what's really happening? Flat Earth researchers argue the oceans don't stick because of gravity. They stay where they are because the Earth itself is flat and contained. Think of a giant basin like a bowl. Water always finds its level. It doesn't curve, it doesn't bend around a sphere, it spreads flat and evenly exactly like it does in every pool, lake, and ocean we've ever seen with our own eyes. And here's the kicker. If gravity were the one holding oceans down, planes flying above should have to constantly angle their noses downward to avoid drifting into space. But pilots report flying level all the time. Doesn't that tell us something? Another example, ships. If Earth were truly curved, you'd see ships dramatically tilting or water curving at the horizon. But with a good zoom camera, ships that disappear over the horizon can be brought right back into view. That's not water bending around a ball, that's distance and perspective. So instead of an invisible force magically holding oceans in place, a much simpler answer exists. The oceans stay where they are because water seeks its level, contained within the flat plane of Earth. No imaginary gravity required. Now let me leave you with this. If gravity can't explain why oceans don't float away, what else about the world you were taught in school might need questioning? If this just blew your mind, or at least made you rethink what you thought you knew, don't scroll away. Watch more videos like this on this page, because the deeper you go, the more the globe story starts to fall apart. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. This is for entertainment purposes.